In a world where everyone wants to be seen, the most powerful man is the one no one can touch, not with slander, betrayal, or schemes. Today, we unlock the secret to becoming that man. Through Machiavelli's brutal wisdom, you will learn how to become untouchable not in strength, but in strategy. This is not for the faint of heart, but for those ready to be feared, respected, and above all, protected from the chaos of weak men and loud fools. You want to be untouchable? Then understand this. Power does not begin with strength. It begins with the way others perceive your strength. You can be a lion on the inside, but if others see a lamb, they will attack as if they smell blood. Niccolo Machiavelli, the maestro of perception and manipulation, taught one eternal truth. A man's reputation is more powerful than his sword, more feared than his actions, and more enduring than his wealth. Appearances rule the world. Substance may win wars, but it is perception that keeps enemies at bay before the first arrow is ever lost. It is not what you are, it's what they think you are. And if they believe you are made of stone, they will not test if you bleed. Let the fools chase authenticity. You must become a master of illusion. The untouchable man wears 1,000 masks and removes none unless it profits him. He may be calculating, even merciless, but he will appear calm, generous, and fair, because men do not judge with reason. They judge with their eyes. They see only what you allow them to see. So, allow them just enough to keep their curiosity alive and their doubt intact. You must begin by designing your presence, not just how you look, but how you arrive. Walk into a room as though it belongs to you, not because of arrogance, but because of certainty. Let your body speak power before your mouth ever does. Machiavelli advised princes to be feared rather than loved, but above all, to never be hated. The same applies to you. Show just enough warmth to avoid resentment, just enough distance to command respect. If you act as though you are unbothered by gossip, betrayal, misfortune, then the world will assume you are immune to them. And when people believe nothing can shake you, they stop trying to. That is the birth of invincibility, when others abandon the very idea of touching you. Your voice must become a weapon of restraint. Don't speak too much. Do not be the man who fills silence with nervous noise. Speak when needed with weight, not volume. Say less than you think. Let them wonder what you are holding back. Because when you are unpredictable, you are untouchable. People only attack what they understand. And when you do speak, your words should be sharp, clean, and final. Speak not to impress, speak to influence. Every phrase should carry purpose. Let them remember what you say, not because it was loud, but because it echoed. Your image must be forged like armor, consistent, elegant, and symbolic. What you wear, how you walk, where you are seen. All of it must reinforce the idea that you are not ordinary, not to blend, but to command. The untouchable man is a symbol. He is crafted carefully and maintained relentlessly. People don't need to know you. They just need to know that knowing you is dangerous. Let others reveal their emotions freely. Let them bleed in public. You show composure. When others are frantic, you remain calm. When others are boastful, you remain still. Let them act like fire. You move like stone, because nothing terrifies a man more than someone he cannot read. Machiavelli understood the game of optics. He knew the people would rather follow a confident liar than a hesitant truth teller. They do not care what is real, they care what is strong. So be the illusion they dare not confront. Be the silence that haunts loud rooms. Be the smile they cannot decode, and never ever let them see you beg. A man who appears to need nothing becomes impossible to hurt. As soon as you display desperation, attachment, or even the hint of need, you give the world leverage. The untouchable man appears full, full of confidence, full of certainty, full of direction. Even if inside he is at war with himself, he never shows it. Because survival in the realm of wolves depends not on your inner truth but on your outer myth. Let the peasants cling to honesty. You are here to be remembered, not understood. You are here to ascend, not explain. And the man who controls how he is seen controls how he is treated. And the man who controls how he is treated can never be touched. The most fragile man in any kingdom is not the weakest. It is the one who feels too much. Anger, love, fear, guilt. These emotions do not make you human. They make you predictable, and what is predictable can be controlled. Machiavelli warned that a ruler who lets his heart guide his decisions will soon find his head separated from his shoulders. To become untouchable, you must learn this. Your emotions are not weapons, they are bait. And if you take the bait, someone else will hold the hook. The man who cannot control his inner world becomes a slave to the outer one. When insulted, he explodes. When flattered, he submits. When betrayed, he collapses. But the man who observes his emotions like a strategist, he is a different breed. He knows how to feel without being ruled by those feelings. He does not react. He calculates. And calculation is the true currency of power. You want to be untouchable, then learn to sever the chain between stimulus and response. Someone disrespects you. You don't scream, you remember. You don't attack, you absorb. You don't post about it, you file it in silence. You gather data, you store leverage, you wait. Because silence today gives you dominance tomorrow. Those who erupt reveal their limits. They show you where to push, where to press, where to provoke. You must be the opposite. Your calmness must disturb people. Your lack of reaction must unsettle them. And that's the key. Emotion betrays intent. When they know how you feel, they can guess what you'll do. But when they cannot read you, when your face is stone and your tone is balanced, they hesitate. They fear miscalculation. They fear what they cannot predict. Machiavelli knew that cold men rule hot cities. The passionate masses are easy to stir, easy to distract, easy to control, but the few who can detach, who can see 10 moves ahead while others are drowning in their feelings, those are the ones who win without fighting. Even love, the sweetest poison, must be handled with steel gloves, because love unchecked becomes weakness. Affection makes you blind, and blindness leads you into traps you'd never step into with a clear mind. Keep your heart, but keep it in a cage. Feel deeply in silence. Move logically in public. When you express care, make sure it's calculated. Never let it compromise your power. Hatred, too, is a blade that cuts both ways. When you hate, you obsess. And obsession gives the object of your hatred power over you. You must never let anyone leave rent-free in your mind. Revenge is not taken with rage, it is taken with patience. Real vengeance is precise, it is cold, it is clean. The most devastating move is not the loudest. It is the one they never saw coming because they thought you had forgotten. Even fear, that primal spark in every soul, must be examined. What do you fear? Embarrassment? Loss? Rejection? These are chains, and men who wear chains are easy to enslave. To be untouchable, you must walk into your fears, not to conquer them with courage, but to dissect them with clarity. Ask yourself, who benefits from my fear? Whose game am I playing when I shrink, when I silence myself, when I retreat? Once you know that, you know what to stop giving away. Emotion, in Machiavelli's world, is a tool, not a truth. A mask, not a mirror. Use it when it serves you. Cry if it gains sympathy. Smile if it disarms enemies. But never confuse the performance with the person. Always remain the director behind the curtain. Let others be actors in the play. They laugh, they sob, they shout. You write the script. To be untouchable, you must be the man who cannot be swayed by impulse. The man who listens when others panic. The man who chooses logic when everyone else chooses noise. The one who knows the battlefield is not outside, it is within. And the one who wins that battlefield becomes untouchable. Every man who has ever fallen thought he had someone to catch him. But Machiavelli knew better. He knew that alliances are never permanent, loyalty is never pure, and the man who survives the longest is the one who walks with others but never leans on them. To be untouchable, you must master this balance. Appear loyal, speak of brotherhood, build networks that serve your rise. But never, not for a moment, become dependent on anyone's favor. Trust is the illusion of powerful use to tame the ambitious. They will tell you it's mutual. They will say it's sacred. But when gold shifts hands, when titles are offered, when knives are sharpened in quiet rooms, that trust will vanish, and you will be left stunned if you've built your empire on promises instead of positioning. You may think your friend would never betray you, but if Machiavelli taught anything, it is that the right pressure reveals every man's price. So you must know this. Build alliances as a prince builds castles. Strong but distant. You shake hands, but you watch the eyes. You accept praise, but you measure the motive. When someone offers loyalty, thank them. But remember, loyalty lasts only as long as the benefits. And the benefits shift like wind. The untouchable man understands human nature, and because he understands it, he never romanticizes it. He knows that people will side with him as long as it suits them. So he makes himself useful. He becomes the one who opens doors, the one who creates opportunity, the one who offers protection. Not because he expects loyalty in return, but because it forces others to depend on him. And dependence is power. Let them lean on you while you lean on nothing. Your presence must carry this weight. They want you in the room, but they never truly have you. They respect you, but they can never reach you. You're a friend in public, a mystery in private. You smile at the dinner table, but they don't know who you'll side with when the war breaks out. That's how you hold power, by holding your position above personal emotion. Let others speak of unconditional trust. You trust in patterns, in history, in motive, not in words, because words are cheap when power is on the line. Men will swear loyalty one day and feed you to the wolves the next if it buys their survival. And the more they speak of honor, the more you must ask, what are they hiding beneath that noble face? Even your closest allies keep them close, yes, but never without caution. You can rely on partnerships, but never stake your life on them. If your success depends on another man's protection, you are already compromised. You must have your own fortress, your own escape route, your own power base. One that no betrayal can touch. Machiavelli understood that appearances hold the kingdom together. So be the good friend, the loyal brother, the ally they can laugh with. But behind the smile, hold a knife, not to stab them, but to ensure they never consider stabbing you. When people know you are not afraid to walk alone, they stop trying to control the direction you walk in. Let your alliances be chosen with precision, not passion. Work with those who elevate your position. Collaborate with those who fear losing your presence, and never announce who you truly trust. Keep everyone guessing. When they don't know who your real allies are, they become hesitant to strike. That hesitation is your shield. Power is never in how many people stand beside you. Power is in how many would fall without you. And you build that by making yourself the common denominator in their success. Help them rise, yes, but make sure that rise depends on you. Then, even if they think of turning on you, they realize, To move against you would be to destroy themselves. This is how the untouchable man survives betrayals before they happen. He sees the cracks before they break. He never fears being alone because he has trained himself to walk alone. He is friendly with everyone, yet bound to no one. And that, more than swords, more than armies, more than wealth, is what keeps him standing when others fall. The man who talks too much reveals the cracks in his armor. The more he explains, the more he exposes. The more he speaks, the more he is studied, measured, dissected. Machiavelli understood this ancient law of power. The most dangerous man in the room is not the one who shouts, but the one who watches, who listens, who says little and moves less until it's time to strike. To be untouchable, you must master the art of hidden influence, not by dominating every space, but by becoming the one who is always present, yet never predictable. A shadow in every room, a whisper in every decision, a name that others fear to say too loudly, not because they hate you, but because they don't know where you stand. And that uncertainty is your strongest weapon. People fear what they cannot read. They fear silence more than they fear speech, because silence suggests control. Silence suggests strategy. It suggests you are holding something they cannot see. And in that mystery, their imagination becomes your ally. They begin to create stories around you. They guess, they wonder, and in doing so, they reveal more of themselves than you ever do. That is the core of domination through invisibility. Let others speak, and they will reveal their intent. Let others act, and they will show their flaws. You, meanwhile, wait. You observe. You catalog their habits, their patterns, their impulsive tells. And when the time comes, your move is precise, not because it was rushed, but because it was prepared in the shadows. You do not need to announce your power for it to exist. A blade hidden under the cloak is more terrifying than one displayed on a table. The quiet man, the unreadable figure, becomes a ghost in the minds of his rivals. They cannot map his next move. They cannot prepare a counterstrike because he gives them nothing. Machiavelli understood that secrecy is not just protection. It is leverage. When people do not know what you want, they cannot block you. When they don't know who you support, they cannot bribe you. When they don't know your loyalties, they waste their energy trying to recruit or destroy you. Either way, you control the pace. You control the narrative, not by shouting over others, but by letting others exhaust themselves while you stay unmoved. There is immense strength in the appearance of stillness. When others scramble for status, attention, applause, you remain poised. Not absent, but impenetrable. Not passive, but unreadable. You do not react with noise. You respond with outcome. Your victories are clean and final. There is no warning, no build-up. Only a result that leaves others stunned because they never saw it coming. Even your intentions must be hidden. Do not reveal your goals, your timeline, your desires. Let others guess. Let them misinterpret your moves. Allow them to underestimate you. Let them believe you are neutral, uninvolved, harmless. Then, when the moment is right, act with force so precisely, so final, they realize too late they were never dealing with a spectator. They were dancing in the palm of your hand. The power of hidden influence also means shaping events without taking center stage. Be the one who whispers in the ear of the king, not the one wearing the crown. Let others claim the glory while you hold the strings. The most untouchable men in history were rarely in the spotlight. They were behind it, orchestrating, maneuvering, choosing who rises and who falls. Speak through action. Let your reputation precede you, not your words. Be known for results, not for proclamations. The louder the man, the more fragile his command. But the one who doesn't need to speak, his silence becomes a prophecy, his stillness becomes a myth. And people fear what they cannot define. This is how you walk through conflict untouched, not by being the strongest man, but the one they cannot locate. Not the loudest, but the one who moves the loudest. Not the target, but the architect of the field. You become untouchable not by confronting every enemy, but by becoming the force behind the curtain, the hand behind the throne, the storm they never saw until it was already upon them to become. Untouchable is not to build walls around yourself, but to master the game from within quietly, surgically, without revealing your hand. The weak man hides from the world hoping not to be hurt. But the untouchable man walks into every room knowing that no one can touch what they cannot reach. He has sculpted his image with precision. He controls what others see while guarding what he truly is. He walks through storms untouched, not because they do not come, but because he is always prepared. He detaches emotion from action. He speaks only when words carry weight. He builds alliances, but kneels to no one. He influences without being seen. And when he moves, it is decisive, final, absolute. Machiavelli never promised comfort. He promised power. And power belongs to the man who does not need applause, does not fear solitude, and does not bleed in public. If you wish to rise beyond betrayal, beyond gossip, beyond manipulation, then you must step into the mindset of the untouchable, unmoved, unreadable, unbreakable, because in a world where every man can be provoked, played, or predicted, the one who cannot becomes the one who rules them all.